Alright folks, today we're going to be roasting Billie Eilish.
What is up, everybody? It's me, Frankie, and man, it has been a long time since I've made any sort of significant video on this channel. But as you can see from the title of this video is going to be about Billie Eilish and every song that she has released. Before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to lay out some ground rules as to why I picked the songs that I did and why I did them in the order that I did them. Now, every song that is in this entire tier list came directly from Billie Eilish's Spotify page, and I considered every song that was listed on that page to be fair game, so that also included remixes. And then for the order of the songs, I usually did them in chronological order or directly following the remix that the song is of, and there are some exceptions to that. And there's one song that I got wrong in terms of when it came out chronologically, and you'll see that at some point in this 3-part series, because this video was very long. So yeah, I thought that this video would not work if it was entirely one video, so I'm splitting it into 3 parts, which will come out over the next week. So quite a bit of content coming out for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. Also, throughout most of the videos, my computer's fan was going really hard for some reason. So you'll be able to hear that. And I think this should go without saying, but this tier list is entirely based off of my opinion, so if you have any objections to any of the placements that I put any of these songs, sound off in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into this tier list. Okay, let's start off with Ocean Eyes. In my opinion, this song is pretty good.
Crying 14-year-old.
Her brother wrote it. It was originally created for her brother Phineas's band, and he didn't like the sound of it with his band, so he's like, hey yo sis, can you sing this? And then it got put on SoundCloud, and then it blew up.
She's a SoundCloud rapper? That is hilarious.
Well, I give it a solid B tier. I wouldn't say it's a bad song. I'd say it really foreshadows the artist that she would eventually become with like some of the lyrics, but I would probably credit that more to her brother than anything else. So, like I said in the beginning of this video, remixes are included, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't like most of them. So starting off with the ones for Ocean Eyes, we have the remix done by Astronomy with 2 Ys. Long story short, I'm putting this in D tier.
They were all trash.
I originally was gonna put all of them in F, but then I actually listened to them and I was like, okay, it's not horrible. At least most of them. But compared to the original, it's just not good. That's really all I can say for like Ocean Eyes and 6 Feet Under. Those ones I really didn't have much of a taste for, honestly. The next remix of Ocean Eyes was done by Black Bear. Gave it a C tier. Much better than the Astronomy one. It lends itself more to the original song, but at the times where it does its own thing, it like takes away from it, but that's not the entire song. So it gets kind of a pass, so it kind of just like goes in the middle. So if it came on and I knew it was this, it'd be like, I mean, I'd rather listen to the original, but this isn't horrible per se. So C tier. The next one, oh boy. I hate this one. I think this is the one that made me hate all the remixes upon first listening to it, because it's either this or the next one that's completely different to the original tone, and it basically just like samples bits of the original song for a different song pretty much. For pretty much all of these remixes, if they were like a new song with their own things, I would probably like them. But when comparing them to what they're remixing,
Isn't that the point of a remix, though? To, like, make it your own?
I mean, I guess, but, like, this list is my opinion. So.
Oh, your opinion sucks.
Shut up. Moving on, Cautious Clay, I think that's how you say it. Another F tier, kind of like the one before. Didn't like it. Moving on to the next actual song, 6 Feet Under. Honestly, I think this is better than Ocean Eyes, in my honest opinion. Especially considering the type of music that Billie Eilish would eventually be known for, like, making. The first remix is by Blue J, all caps, no E. A D tier. The instrumental that was put in for this remix really doesn't fit the lyrics at all. So that was my main problem with it. If it was like its own like EDM track, I would like it. But it's not. So I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I mean, I'm not a big EDM person either. So that's my bias.
The remix by Gazzo. I'm gonna call him Gazzo. F tier.
F tier? Damn.
Yeah, I really didn't like this one. It sounds like
Give me some hate. Why do you hate it?
It sounds like it should be like the background song for a chase scene in a movie. And that's really not the original vibe of the song. So, I don't like it.
So it's like, it went from, our love is dying, to you're dying.
Pretty much. Okay, next remix. This one's by Jerry Folk. In my notes, I put C, but barely. Closest one to the original in terms of tone, but some parts are strange overall. And the intro makes you think that it's like a completely different song. Yeah, I think it's pretty misleading to like have such a different intro to this. So I don't like it that much. Honestly, on a bad day, I'd put it in D. Moving on to the next one. This one was made by Air Atlantica, both with A. I don't think that's how you say the first part of it, but whatever. This one doesn't sound like the original. Some of the instrumental could work in a different song, but just doesn't work with this. Moving on. We finally gotten to the third song, Bored, the one that was put in the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. I would give this one an A. I like it quite a bit, honestly. What do you think about it?
I gotta say that was like the best, I guess, music choice like for 13 Reasons Why, but also at the same time like that show had some controversy in and of itself. So like putting a really like depressing song, which I mean again that's how I would summarize her music, depressing. So to put that in a song that like might have caused some people to kill themselves, debatable.
Am I gonna cut that out? Moving on, the Don't Smile at Me EP. First song, I would give Copycat a solid B tier. Quite an interesting song. I wouldn't say it's one of my top favorites, but I wouldn't say it's bad. I would listen to it if it came on. Pretty good song overall. Getting to the song with the longest title in the EP, I Don't Want to Be You Anymore, with no spaces, no capitalization, and no punctuation, I would give this one a B as well. It's a really interesting song, all things considered. What do you think about it?
I don't want to be you anymore. Again, literally about her depression. Like, what was it, like a Spotify or a Genius interview I saw that was, like, really interesting about it? How it's, like her, the video's, like, her looking in a mirror, right? It's like, oh, I don't want to be you. Like, looking in a mirror. I don't know, it's, like, the idea of, like, self-reflection that I think is, like, really interesting in that.
Pretty interesting song. Wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but it's pretty good nonetheless.
I disagree. The depression songs hit hard.
Maria, this is my opinion!
Well, I'm having mine, and I get to disagree with you.
Moving on to My Boy, another B tier. Nothing really too special. I like the lyrics of it, but other than that, it's kind of just like, yeah, it's a song. I'd listen to it.
He literally wrote absolute bop. It's a liar.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite absolute bop. Okay. Moving on to Watch. This one is also in B tier. It feels like something's missing. Moving on to Party Favor. This one, I honestly give it like a C. It's much better than these two other things in C tier. I'd give it a like top C tier. So let me fix that. That's a more accurate representation of how I feel about that song. Pretty good. Again, I wouldn't skip it if it ever played, but it wouldn't be a song that I would actively seek out to like listen to on a day-to-day basis. Now, next song, Bellyache. This was the one that released as a single before the album. Honestly, very good choice. This was probably my favorite song on the Vanilla album overall. Like, this was my favorite song on the album. I give it an A tier. Next, we have Hostage. The lyrics of it are something to digest on, like, repeated listens. There's a lot of lyrics that you can, like, gloss over on, like, a first listen. And this is definitely one that I did that for. But it's not one that I particularly like a lot. But I wouldn't say it's bad. So I would give it a C tier.
As somebody who's been in a similar relationship to what she's describing, that shit hits.
Moving on to the, what I would call remixes and amendments of the album. There are 3 that fall into this category. They are the remix of Bellyache, the remix of Watch, which is called And Burn, and the My Boy remix of My Boy, but this time boy is spelled with an I. For Bellyache, this remix really don't like. I just really don't. I didn't really like it a lot. When I listened to it, I'm like, I could be listening to the Vanilla Bellyache right now, and I'm listening to this. Ew. Our first S tier would be the Vince Staples And Burn remix. Honestly, this remix adds so much to the original song, and even the like little rap bit towards like the middle end of it, that I really enjoyed. And this is something that I didn't like in literally every other remix, but this one felt so natural. It feels like that stuff was always supposed to be there. In a good way. So when you go back to the original, it feels different. It doesn't feel the same. So that's how I feel about this one. This one, I would give an S tier. Honestly, a very good song and remix overall. Going in the complete opposite direction, My Boy, F tier. The remix sucked. And the same goes for the Copycat remix. I didn't like it either.
So yeah, that right there is going to wrap it up for this part of the tier list. There is much more to come. I have a lot of other opinions on each of the other songs that have been released. And next time, we will be getting into the When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go album. And when I said it in the video, I accidentally called it an EP. Catch you guys later.